Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the second video of the day here on the all new Grid Game 2019. Obviously if you guys missed out the video that went live earlier on today, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. But today we're going to be doing a one-off race here on the new Grid Game and sort of wanted to have a bit of a look through all of the cars on here. And let's be fair, this being predominantly an F1 channel, there was only one car that we could take out for a spin. Obviously it had to be Fernando Alonso's 2006 World Championship winning Renault R26. And we're going to be taking it around at the Sepang circuit, obviously known as the Malaysian Grand Prix, for a 5-lap race in reverse. Now, this is obviously a brilliant feature that we've seen from the Grid games in the past, and it's brilliant to see it coming back here on the new version as well. Some tracks you can drive backwards. Now, obviously, everyone drives backwards. It's not some crazy weird challenge at the end of the day, but you know, it is really good fun to sometimes sort of see weird and wonderful tracks from around the world. You know, the other way around to what we used to. Spa is always a brilliant example of that. And straight off the bat as well, I noticed this at the time of recording, that is one quick loading screen. That is really impressive. That isn't sped up, anything like that. That is just the loading screens on this game. You really do get into the action very quickly there. And yeah, really excited for this race. We've got 16 of these R26s, obviously all with custom paint schemes. I'm obviously using the Black Edition version of the car. And yeah, really excited to jump into this race. The first couple of laps we're just going to absolutely go all out, and then the last couple are actually going to drop to the rear of the field and then go for it again. And obviously there's been some interesting discussions about this game, you know, whether it's sort of particularly arcade, whether it's fairly sim style. At the end of the day, it is very much an arcade title. I don't know why people seem to think it's going to be quite sim style. You know, in terms of the handling model, it's not quite the same as any of the previous Grid games in personal experience, you know, but it certainly feels close to them. You know, it feels in the right ballpark still. So obviously if you're a big fan of the original Grid games, I'm sure you will like this one as well. As you can watch my very twitchy hands. I am playing this on the pad at the moment. I will hopefully make a couple of videos on the wheel in the near future. But yeah, that was just a little bit of a cockpit as we head down the hill through what is normally a horrible traction zone going up that hill. The other way around, fairly, well, a little bit easier. And then through this corner, this is a brilliant one to do the other way around, as sort of the track tightens up ever so slightly on the X there. It really is a challenge there. I mean, this whole next couple of corners as well, as you head through the S's here. I mean, personally, not quite the best lines in the world. You know, this was still, you know, very early days on my practice on this game. You know, I'm still really, you know, starting to get to grips with it, starting to learn the handling model once again, you know, from someone that's mainly sort of played F1, and really Forza is the only sort of game I play on a pad. It's always weird going to any other game that doesn't quite handle like it. As we head through the final couple of corners there, it's really weird to sort of go into that really sort of very obviously quickly, and then still, you know, being able to get the car slowed down as the track sort of tightens up the other way. It's a really intriguing challenge the other way around this circuit there. And just 1 minute 40.7 at 218 miles an hour, banks off the road limiter as we got down towards T1. Now this car, I don't know if this version where I've got like the Grid Special Edition is slightly quicker down the straight, so I may have to do a bit of a comparison with the other car at the end of the day. But yeah, this car was tremendously quick around this circuit. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of audio throughout some of this lap. So, riding back on board then, there was just a little bit of a sound piece, and yeah, safe to say, this Renault R26 screaming at 21,000 RPM sounds pretty good, as you'd probably expect, as we head down in towards the final couple of corners again. I think this is generally my two favourite corners on the track this way around. There's so many good ones, it really does make you wonder how many other of the F1 circuits would be much better in reverse. Shanghai is always one that I think would be much better race the other way around there. But you can see, heading on to lap 3 though, 1 minute 34.6, they're really quite happy with that lap. And we are going to pull over to the wayside here and let everyone back through, because it was safe to say, you know, we kind of ran away from the rest of the field there. There's a couple of people having some small issues through the first couple of corners. Then we're going to drop back down to P14 there. I think those guys in last and second last and actually get a bit of a bump. So, you know, that hadn't helped those guys out in this race there. But we're actually going to see in just a moment another new feature from the 2019 grid game. And this is another really, really cool one that I, you know, personally am a big fan of on this game. As you can see, we're trying to carve our way through the rear of the field once again there. You can see just everyone, you know, sticking more to the racing line. You definitely can afford to be a bit creative, you know, with sort of your lines on this game where it is quite arcade, and especially with, obviously with the lower difficulty that I was running with. That was very, very close, as everyone, Constantine, is up, down, in towards the hairpin. Yeah, we now move ourselves back up into P12 of this race. So I'm still making good progress, but you can see at the moment we have a big bump there with Diego just in front of us here. We're going to try and get the run on the exit of the corner here. We're actually going to go into the back of him again, and that turns him...
Oh, they won't be happy with that.
That turns him into our nemesis in this race. So a really cool little feature from the new grid game there. You can, well, I mean, you can make enemies there. You can see he tries to bump the guy in front of him, so clearly not too happy with us at the moment there. And now you can see he's right behind us as well. So I think obviously this will just mean, you know, he's certainly going to take more risks in these races. Happy to try and go for some interesting moves on ourselves there, as we almost bin it in towards the penultimate corner there of the lap. Think about having a look up the inside of almost what looks probably the closest representation to one of the Earth Dream Honda cars from the last couple of years there. But we now move ourselves back up into P9 of this race there. Once again, 219 miles an hour as we head in towards T1 there. Look at the helicopters above the circuit as well, and get a double overtake there through T1 as we now head down the next straightaway here, trying to duck through the slipstream there. That guy tries to give me a bit of a squeeze as we head down in towards the next braking zone, just right into the back of Hunter there, just in front of us, and try to get around the outside of, I think that's Marlena, through the next couple of corners, getting very, very close there. And the AI is certainly more than happy to stand their ground on this game there. As you can see, still all over the back though of these two, a lot of battling going on in these races here. We get up the inside of Hunter there, take a bit of a hatch of the run down in towards the head. And yeah, like I said, we were still, you know, struggling to get to grips with it. Definitely, it's certainly not, you know, it's a very rewarding handling model when you get it right, as we then get our second nemesis of the day there. Hunter Green, just in front of us there, has got that little red helmet above him, and that means, yeah, he is not too happy with us in this one there. But like I said, the handling model on this game is certainly one that's, you know, going to be... I don't know what that was. I was trying to go for some mega switch back between the pair of them there and just kind of killed one driver in this race. You can see the damage on the front wing there. Just started to struggle a little bit there as we bump our way back up into the podium places in this race. But yeah, the damage model... sorry, the handling model even, I should say. I'm losing track of where I'm going in this video here. But yeah, the handling model is certainly, you know, arcadey, but it definitely feels like something, you know, you could really gain a big advantage if you finally sort of get it mastered, get everything pinned down and everything like that. As we now head on to the final lap of this Grand Prix, we're going to go for a late lunge down in towards T1 there, and it is almost going to pay off a little bit of contact on the exit there, and you can see, yeah, the AI was certainly not quite up to the difficulty I probably should have set them to in this Grand Prix, but we went for a pretty tremendous dive bomb through T1 there, and I mean, we made it work at the end of the day, no complaining about that in the end there. As you can see, we've got quite a big gap to Ibrahim, who leads the way here, and yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those games that I'm sure, you know, the people that loved the older grid games, you know, racked up hundreds and hundreds of hours on there. I'm sure they will really enjoy this, because it is really grid going back to its roots once again, and you know, that's always nice to see. It's always almost disappointing, you know, we've seen from some franchises in the past where they've then sort of tried to go for a different dynamic and something like that, and yeah, it's always been a bit disappointing when they don't just sort of go back to what made the games great in the first place here. But yeah, Grid is certainly not one of those games. They have definitely come back with a, you know, a game that is great at the end of the day there. We get round the outside though of Ibrahim, as well as we get in towards the final couple of corners of this race. So can we finally nail this penultimate corner? Are we going to be able to do it then? Get the car slowed down nice and tidy. Yeah, actually a fairly decent run through there that time around there. Through the final couple of corners though, and down towards the start-finish line. This has been the Renault R26 at Sepang reverse there. And what is the final lap going to be? It's going to be a 1 minute 34.4, I think, in the end. But yeah, we do win that race, luckily. But like I said, it was just more of a showcase race, showing off this game, everything like that. And yeah, what a game it is. I know I sort of said this in the intro to the game as well. There you can see, yeah, we do take the fastest lap and obviously the race victory there at the end of the day. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you do get yourself subscribed if you want to see more Grid 2019 gameplay on the channel. Let me know as well, obviously, what content you guys want to see from this game, and let me know as well, obviously, if you are picking it up as well. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Do get yourself subscribed, and hopefully I will see you guys back here tomorrow, where we will be jumping in to the Grid campaign.